Hey everyone, we're here today to talk about the newly announced partnership between the Environmental Defense Fund and Farmers Business Network, so super exciting, to incentivize farmers who implement regenerative ag. And we have two experts here today to talk about what this program is and how you can get involved. So we have Steele Lorenz, who is the head of sustainable business at FBN, and we have Maggie Monis, the senior director of climate smart agriculture at the Environmental Defense Fund. So let's jump right into it. Steele, can you share an overview of this program and what is it? How can farmers get started?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're so excited about this. What we have is a operating line that will provide a discount provided you meet an environmental protocol and a standard that we have co-developed with our partners at the Environmental Defense Fund. So what that is focused on is a couple of core practices that are really farmers first and farmer friendly, and looking primarily at soil health metrics. So the first component of that protocol is focused on nutrition. The second part is on other conservation activities around either tillage or cover crops. The third component is around the crops that you're growing. And then the final part is about using a precision nitrogen plan. So those kind of four components make up the protocol. Many growers may already potentially qualify for it. And so that's also appealing. Growers who do not currently meet all of the protocols, certainly these practices are accessible, and you may already be looking at adopting them for your own soil health or to meet the requirements for other environmental programs that you're looking at participating in. So really what this loan is designed to do is to fit well within your systems that you currently deploy or are looking to deploy in the future, and help to get you a reduced loan rate, which should be competitive and incentivizing.
Awesome, perfect. And you covered a little bit of the benefits for farmers with that loan rate. So that's perfect. Awesome. And then just a few questions for Maggie. What is EDF's role in this partnership?
Absolutely. So EDF scientists and other scientists have developed a lot of the underlying science connecting some of the on-farm practices to ultimate impacts on climate and water quality. And what's really exciting about this opportunity is that farmers are going to be able to prove their environmental performance and get rewarded for it. And so there are two ways, as Steele mentioned. One is around nitrogen, and from some pretty easy to measure nitrogen metrics called nitrogen balance, we can calculate both greenhouse gas emissions and nitrate losses, and show how farmers who are adhering to the standard are, in all likelihood, emitting less and providing more environmental benefits than, common practice. And then also there's a soil conservation standard so that we can show that farmers are protecting their soils from erosion and the long-term value of their land.
Awesome. And what do we know about the environmental and financial benefits of regenerative agriculture?
This is an area where EDF has been working for a long time, instigated really by some of our own farmer advisors who wanted to better understand the impacts of their conservation adoption on their own budgets. And we've worked with ag accountants and economists, and what we found is that there are a lot of benefits, financial benefits to practices like no-till and cover crops and efficient nutrient management, including more resilient crop yields, lower input costs, and maintaining that long-term value of the land and profitability. But that's not right now really reflected in farmers' financing. And so what's exciting about this opportunity is that farmers will be able to see that longer-term investment rewarded through a lower interest rate.
Gotcha. And sort of a follow-up question for that, why should agriculture finance integrate the value of regenerative agriculture?
Well, we think that farmers that are farming in a way that is, long-term more profitable, more resilient, and protecting farmland, that should be reflected in their financing. It should be reflected in all of their business engagements. The data has always been the challenge to really prove that in a way that can be rewarded. So that's the huge innovation here, is really being able to connect the environmental and financial data and show that farmers deserve that reward.
Awesome. That's perfect. And so kind of moving back to steel for a couple more questions as well. How do farmers show that they've met the environmental standards to qualify?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the FBN analytics and the My Operations tab, if you're contributing data there, you're very familiar with essentially all of the information that will be required to review if you are eligible for this program. We'll collect a little bit more, but typically participation is an hour at most per year to contribute all of that production information. So it's relatively painless, and even more so if you have your systems already connected to FBN.
Gotcha. And do you have to be a new conservation adopter to participate in this?
So we do not require that you are adopting practices for the first time. What we reward here is outcomes. And so if you have been experimenting with and building on conservation practices for a long time, and that's how you've always farmed, fantastic, this program is for you. If you are looking at adopting for the first time and for getting into planting covers or cover crop or reducing tillage or managing nitrogen in a precise way, this program is also for you. So I know that there are a lot of frustrations with other programs that require new adoption of practices, and this I'm happy to say does not explicitly require that.
Awesome. That's great. And I want to finish up with a question that I know farmers always have on their mind, especially when they're starting a new program like this or interested in sharing sort of farm data. So how will farmer data be protected with this program?
Yeah, it's an incredibly important question, and I'm very glad to answer it. So as is important with all FBN programs, this is a opt-in program. And so if you are contributing data today and you do not want to be part of the program, you are not auto-opted into anything. So if you are interested in participating, then your information is collected by FBN and stored there and used only for verification purposes. And then it's important to know also that our colleagues at EDF, their primary focus is to build the protocols, but will not receive, personally identifiable information about your farm or your farming practices. And so really this coincides with all of our other programs and projects where we take your data and your privacy very seriously and only want to share it in an aggregated and anonymized fashion.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's perfect. And I know that we're going to also include a link to learn more in the video description here, so you can check that out and sort of read up on the program. But Steele and Maggie, thank you so much for sitting down and describing this really awesome program.
Yes, please do click the link, check it out. It's a fantastic project, and we are so excited to partner with EDF on this.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.